In 2025, new airport rules are catching travelers off guard every single day, and one mistake could leave you standing at the checkpoint empty-handed. What's really changing in 2025? Let's be honest. Most of us think we've mastered airport security. Take out your laptop, remove your liquids, toss your keys in the tray, and you're good to go. But 2025 is different. TSA has tightened its rules and, more importantly, rolled out new technology that's making it easier than ever to spot restricted or questionable items in your bag. For years, people got away with sneaking slightly oversized liquids, poorly packed batteries, or odd gadgets in their carry-on. But with advanced computed tomography, CT scanners now installed in more airports, that wiggle room is gone. These scanners create 3D images of your bag, which means even powders, dense electronics, or hidden compartments light up like a warning sign. And here's the kicker. TSA officers are instructed to confiscate anything that looks suspicious, improperly packed, or outright banned, even if you thought it was fine to bring. The surprising items. TSA will take most travelers expect sharp objects and big bottles of liquid to be banned. But the list for 2025 includes some surprising everyday items. Here are the ones most likely to trip you up. Cordless hair tools with butane cartridges, curling irons and straighteners that run on gas are now a huge red flag, especially in checked bags. TSA is confiscating them on the spot if they don't meet safety requirements. Lithium battery power banks. Yes, you can bring them, but only if they're under a specific watt-hour limit. Go over that limit or pack them in checked luggage, and it's game over. Powders in bulk. Think protein powder, pancake mix, or even baby formula. If it's not clearly labeled or is packed in an oversized container, TSA may either delay you for testing or take it away completely. Reusable water bottles with hidden compartments. TSA officers have flagged bottles that look like they're hiding pills, powders, or liquids. Even if it's just a quirky design, if they suspect something, they'll confiscate it. Liquids and gels above 3.4 ounces. Some airports with CT scanners are testing looser restrictions, but that's not nationwide. If you're not 100% sure your airport has relaxed rules, stick with the classic 311 rule or risk losing your items. Real traveler stories that prove the point. Imagine spending hundreds of dollars on the perfect Dyson hair straightener, only to have TSA take it at the checkpoint because you packed it with the wrong cartridge. Or worse, your trip grinds to a halt because your power bank was too large and packed in your checked luggage. There have been travelers who showed up with bulk powders like meal replacements or protein tubs, only to watch TSA dump them in the trash. Others have had entire water bottles confiscated because the compartments made them look like smuggling devices. These aren't just what-if scenarios. They're happening to everyday people who thought they knew the rules. TSA's own travel tips for 2025 warn that failing to double-check the details is the fastest way to lose your belongings at the checkpoint. The technology behind the crackdown. So why is this happening now? The answer is simple. Better tech and stricter enforcement. TSA has rolled out more CT scanners than ever before. These machines aren't just upgrades, they fundamentally change how bags are inspected. With 3D images, agents can rotate and zoom in on questionable items. That means powders, odd batteries, or strange packaging that might have slipped by before now stand out instantly. And because these machines cut down on guesswork, TSA has been empowered to enforce rules with more confidence. If something looks like a risk, they'll confiscate it. No debate, no negotiation. Another part of the shift comes from global security standards. Other countries are adopting stricter airport security practices, and TSA wants to keep the US aligned. So what you might have carried freely on an international trip in 2023 or 2024 could now get seized in 2025. Airport differences you need to know. Not every airport is operating the same way. At major hubs with CT scanners, some rules like liquids and laptops are loosening. You might not need to remove items from your bag at all. At smaller airports without these scanners, the old rules are still in full force. Oversized liquids? Forget it. Laptops out? Every time. And then there's inconsistency. Two airports could apply the same rule differently depending on the staff, equipment, or even the day. That's why assuming you're safe is the single biggest mistake travelers are making this year. The most common mistakes travelers make. Let's break down where people are going wrong in 2025. Assuming rules have changed everywhere. Just because one airport let your water bottle through doesn't mean the next one will. Not checking battery limits. Many travelers don't realize power banks have strict watt-hour limits, and TSA agents are enforcing them. Overlooking packaging. Powders without clear labels or liquids without proper bags are prime targets for confiscation. Trusting old habits. If you've been flying for years, you're most at risk of slipping up because you're relying on outdated habits. Cutting it close on time. If TSA decides to test or take your items, you don't want to be sprinting to your gate. How to keep your carry-on safe. Nobody wants to lose expensive gear, special snacks, or important gadgets. Here's how you can protect your stuff in 2025. Start with an empty bag. Don't reuse a bag that might have old items tucked away. Double-check TSA updates. Rules shift, and TSA posts new guidance regularly. Stick to carry-on for batteries. Never pack lithium batteries in checked luggage. Use smaller containers, especially for powders, spreads, and creams. Label clearly. A scoop of protein powder in a Ziploc looks suspicious. A factory-sealed tub with a label? Much safer. Don't test the limits. Even if your airport has CT scanners, assume you'll face the strictest rules. Have backups. If something does get seized, make sure it won't ruin your trip. Why TSA isn't messing around. It's easy to feel like TSA is being unfair or overly strict, but there's a bigger reason behind all this. Safety and efficiency. Lithium batteries can catch fire. Butane cartridges can explode at altitude. Powders can hide illegal substances, and liquids are still a universal headache for airport security around the world. By tightening enforcement, TSA isn't just being picky, it's trying to cut down on risks before they get on a plane. And with new technology, they finally have the tools to enforce rules consistently. That's why they're not hesitating to confiscate items in 2025. From their perspective, one frustrated traveler is worth avoiding one potential disaster in the air. What you should take away. At the end of the day, it all comes down to preparation. If you keep packing the way you did in 2019, you're almost guaranteed to lose something valuable in 2025. But if you take a few minutes to check the updated rules, pack smart, and avoid risky items, your bag will make it to your destination, intact. So the next time you're at the checkpoint, remember this. The rules are stricter, the tech is sharper, and the margin for error is gone. Don't make the mistake thousands of travelers are already regretting this year. Key points to remember. TSA has updated confiscation rules in 2025, especially around lithium batteries, butane hair tools, and powders. CT scanners mean stricter enforcement and fewer slip-throughs. Airports apply rules differently. Never assume consistency. Clear labeling and smart packing are your best defenses. Always plan for strict enforcement, even if some airports are looser. All right, that's the lowdown on TSA's 2025 carry-on crackdown. Have you ever had something taken at security? Drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear what tripped you up. And if this helped, do me a favor. Hit like, share it with someone flying soon, and subscribe so you don't get blindsided by the next rule change. Safe travels, and may your bag always make it past security.